Player to player, fence to play.
You wanna know why? Because King Kong's got nothing on me! This is Tim, this is your Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Watching a lot of training day yesterday because I'm getting pumped for this giant game against the vaunted Miami Dolphins. I wasn't going to jump on the mic today. I wasn't going to do a video until Saturday. And, of course, we have the Sunday Giant broadcast, or podcast, or live stream, whatever the hell you want to call it, with R0B on Sunday at 10 a.m. But you see this article that came out from The Athletic, and I was trying to ignore it a little bit because you don't want to get into what other coaches are saying about your players, because of the fact that it's another defensive coach, and people will say, well, it's a defensive coach that he's being anonymous. Well, yeah, he's going to be anonymous because he's a defensive coach. He's probably either he's not playing the Giants or he has played the Giants, and he's not going to put his name on it because of the fact that if he did, he could potentially become a pariah, never work in the New York City area. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of coaches say things anonymously. And some people are like, well, why don't they just not say anything? Well, because of the fact that makes for a boring article. Now, and I also wasn't really going to talk about it because of the fact that, it's just, there's other things to discuss besides Daniel Jones. We know what Daniel Jones is. We've talked about this ad nauseum for 4 years. And it just makes my head hurt. And I don't want to keep continuously talking about all of his issues, all the problems, all the things that we've seen for 4 years that he hasn't still corrected, how we gave him $160 million for an average NFL. Actually, technically, if you look at it, a below average NFL season in year 4, and fans were still debating what he was going to be in year 5. If those weren't monumental red flags, I don't know what red flags are then. Well, this coach came out and said, it's very noticeable how little they make him play like an NFL quarterback. He has the easiest reads, the easiest concepts, and still does not throw the ball accurately. He doesn't throw it to the correct leverage. He doesn't throw the wide receivers open, just doesn't do it. I'm giving you zero opinions. This is all on tape. This is what the tape shows. Now, this really is a sense around the league because you basically 2 weeks in a row, I've had opponents come out and say Daniel Jones is basically garbage. We knew what he was doing. You had San Francisco with the unnamed players, and some named players came out and said, he's average at best, and we knew exactly what he was going to do with the football. You had a rookie in Witherspoon come out and say, we know he has a tendency or likes to lock on his first targets, and he basically turns his back to one-on-one coverage. That's coming from a rookie. And if you keep looking at what this article says, it just talks about the same things over and over again. He has the easiest reads, the easiest concepts. Even Dable came out the other day and said, it's about the reads, it's about the protection, and it's about the progression. Okay, 2 out of those 3 things were on your quarterback. And technically, if you want to talk about pressure, that third thing could also technically be on your quarterback if your quarterback holds onto the ball too long. And I think this is leading to more and more issues. Waller's already speaking up. It's one of those things. You're probably going to have, if other guys don't start getting the ball, they're going to start speaking up. And it's just one of those things that, if we've talked about it before, people wanted to blame that 3rd and 19 interception in the first quarter in the Cowboy games on Saquon Barkley. But he threw the ball high, and he threw Barkley into contact because he didn't see the guy behind Barkley. He didn't see him, and he threw Barkley right into contact. Now, we talked about it last year. The football bounces differently every year. But if you not every year it's going to bounce your way. And I don't get it sometimes. I still don't get what people for years have been talking about. You've had such a pendulum swing by content creators in reference to how they thought Daniel Jones maybe was the guy that wasn't the guy, then had an average NFL season, and then he was the Messiah, then he was going to be the $160 million man, and now they're swinging back the other way. I've talked before, it makes my head hurt because of the fact that you're swinging back the other way, that he's a bum, and we need to go draft a quarterback. I think we do need to draft a quarterback. I think this experiment is over. I think it's very much over. I think the problem is with Daniel Jones right now is he doesn't have Saquon Barkley. And I think they focus primarily when Barkley's on the game on a heavy play action game plan because we've seen it. We saw it and we pointed out against the Texans game last year, the Bears game last year. It was against the Bears. They ran play action rollout to the left side 3 times in a row. And the option was this. You either threw to the tight end, and if the tight end wasn't open, Daniel Jones just run. He would just run. And that's something right there that you kind of have to take a look at. And we've talked about this before. We've talked about this ad nauseum. If everything is not perfect for Daniel Jones, if everything doesn't go well for Daniel Jones, he panics. And I don't like I said, I'm not sitting there saying that he's he can't handle the pressure. I'm not saying that, but if you take a look at him, he does panic. He has a tendency to panic. And when a guy comes out and says, very noticeable how little they make him play like an NFL quarterback. He has the easiest reads, the easiest concepts, and still doesn't throw the ball accurately. He doesn't throw the ball to correct leverage, doesn't throw the ball to open receivers, just doesn't do it. I'm giving you zero opinion. This is all the tape shows. And I've mentioned this and I've said this over and over again 1,000 times to people. And people always try to dismiss me. When the league starts gathering, my job at one point in the NFL, I've talked about it before, was to run the digital XOS replay system. This is back in the early 2000s, and they did not have this was cutting edge technology back in 2003, 4, 5, and 6. This was a system that allowed you to record practices, send that practice or game film up into a server, and then vis-a-vis the internet, view it on any laptop. So my entire job was just to gather film and run the system itself. And it was great. But the problem was this, and I've said this before, this is how I know this. They studied that film ad nauseum. I can sit there and tell you John Gruden specifically would sit there and sit in front of that laptop as soon as he had this system and study film from when practice ended at 7 o'clock to after his meetings to like 4 o'clock in the morning. And they break down players' tendencies. They figure out players' game plans, and more film that they get on an opposing player who shows the same tendencies, they harp and attack on those tendencies. It's plain and simple. It's the same reason why a lot of players will have a fantastic rookie season and then tailor off in that sophomore slump. Why? Because of the fact that the league now has film. And I've always said this, as a second-year player, as the league adjusts, you need to adjust to the league adjusting to you. And you have to keep adjusting because they get more and more film on you. I love it. The other day, people were talking about Justin Fields and how there was a rumor. There's a rumor that Justin Fields, the Giants are making a phone call to Justin Fields, to the Bears for Justin Fields. And I laugh now because now he's got 11 touchdowns. In 4 games, he got his first win. Last 2 games weren't Justin Fields' fault. He got the win last night, but it's the defense. But I just love it because I could just see, what's his name, Ryan Poles sitting in the office. It's Joe Judge. Don't pick up. Let it go to voicemail. Pretend we're not here. He's going to call about a Daniel Jones, Justin Fields trade. Just let it go to voicemail. That's what they're doing if that was the actual case. People have to stop also with the fake rumors. I saw Chat Sports, I think it's Chat Giant Sports or something, did a video about how unnamed source that they have had a rumor that Brian Dable and Joe Shane got into a drag-out fight. And I love it because the person sent me the clip and I listened to the first 13 seconds and they're like, there's this rumor. And they showed the DM that they got into a fight. And then he goes, well, we can't confirm this rumor, but I'm going to now talk for 12 minutes about it. Oh, make the bad man stop. At the end of the day, do we know do we know for certainty that the Daniel Jones experiment is a complete failure? No, we don't. Because we have more games to play this season. So we have to sit there and hope that there is some off-ramp that we can take with this Daniel Jones experiment and maybe help him. I want an apology. I'm throwing this out there. I want an apology. I said for 2 years that Daniel Jones got Jason Garrett fired. That Jason Garrett built his offensive game plan around the strengths of Daniel Jones. Now, if you take out the injuries and you project the season totals for Daniel Jones under the Jason Garrett offense, they would be almost identical to what he did last year. And everyone said, well, Jason Garrett was a bum. Jason Garrett wouldn't do this. I had to hear before, we have no motion in this offense. Now we are the kings of motion. Come on, everybody, do the dance now. Come on, baby, do the giant motion. We are motioning left. We are motioning right. We got 10 guys in motion. We got motion everywhere. We got motion to the right. So we got motion everywhere. It's not fooling anyone. It's not putting our wide receivers in a better position. All I think it's doing is confusing Daniel Jones. He's probably looking at Wan'Dale Robinson and go, why is he running? Why is he going sideways? Oh, yeah, he's in motion. I want an apology. Because I said Jason Garrett built his offense predicated around the skill set of Daniel Jones and what they thought he could do. And the entire ability of that 2 years was to mitigate Daniel Jones causing us to lose games. And evidently Kafka and the genius and the boy wonder Brian Daboll are doing the exact same thing. Because they know what they have, and now they're knowing more and more because the league knows more and more. The league we cannot run the simplistic offense that we ran in 2022 and 2023 because the league understands. Oh, he's rolling out. Just cut the tight end and bring a spy. And we'll stop him for a 3-yard gain. And if you are a good team and have athletic linebackers and safeties, it's easy to do this. It's simple. If I wanted an apology, I probably should ask for apologies for a lot more better, something better, something better than that. I do want to thank someone real quick. They sent me a gift. Excuse me. They sent me a gift, and it was he didn't want me to divulge his name, which is fine. But I'll still talk about the gift real quick. Like I said, I love this as a kid. I loved the $6 Million Man, the TV show. I never got to watch it, like when I had to watch the reruns of it and stuff. But I love that show, and I collect a lot of the toys from the '70s for the $6 Million Man, and there's a toy that's like the Holy Grail. And it is referred to it's the Venus space probe. And it's literally, because they didn't make a lot of them, so it's literally the Holy Grail. And this person actually sent me the Venus space probe, and I just wanted it was a conversation I had at the game with this person, and it was just and then they DM'd me, and they're like, yeah, I want to say something. They didn't tell me that I opened it up yesterday. And like I said, it was a total complete surprise, and I just want to say thank you very much. It was very unexpected and very uncalled for, but I really do appreciate it. We're going to talk a lot more about the Giants. I probably won't have a Sunday video now. We got a giant notification that just came through here. Let's see what this giant notification is. It literally just came to my phone. I love doing this because it's like a live show. Oh, this was the digest on 101 with Brian Daboll, the interview. I don't want to talk about winning and winning formulas and this and this and this and this. Just play better. You're going up against a team that scored 70 points not too long ago, and they got blown out by Buffalo. So I think they're going to be a little unhappy. So I've said it before. Sometimes when I feel like when I'm cleaning, that sometimes I'm trying to keep the dirt at bay, with a mop. I feel like I'm cleaning an avalanche with a mop. So let's hope that the Wink isn't cleaning up an avalanche with a mop. And let's try to see what happens. We're gonna have a lot of fun on Sundays, so make sure you tune in for that. We're also gonna be doing the Eli Manning replica Super Bowl ring giveaway for Guess the Score. May also do a Mint Mobile giveaway. It's 3 months worth of service. We'll probably end up doing that as well. And again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to ring that bell if you want to know why. That'd be awesome.